Welcome to Bharat TV, and I'm your host Nutan Vyas, and here are today's top stories. In breaking news, President-elect Donald Trump has voted to impose the death penalty for rapists and murderers, sparkling a national debate on justice reform. Locally, President Biden signs a bill officially designating the bald eagle as the United States national bird. Supporters rally to defend the suspect in the high profile murder of the UnitedHealth CEO. Controversy also brews over a man's green card rejection based on a false employment claims at Apple. Additionally, a tragic subway incident involving a deported immigrant raises questions about border control policies. In Indian news, extradition tensions with Bangladesh present a diplomatic challenge for India, while the BJP's potential CM candidate for Delhi stirs political discourse. High Court reassurances for displaced residents in Manipur mark a step forward recovery, and actor Allu Arjun pledges compensation for victims of the Pushpa 2 stampede tragedy. Internationally, a devastating plane crash in Kazakhstan claims life, highlighting global aviation safety concerns. In breaking news, Trump vows death penalty for rapists and murderers. President-elect Donald Trump has announced plans to implement the death penalty for rapists and murderers, reigniting debates about capital punishment. The statement comes after President Biden's controversial pardons for several convicts, which Trump has criticized as undermining justice. Speaking at Florida rally, Trump emphasized the importance of law and order, claiming the policy would deter heinous crime. Advocacy groups remain divided on the issue, the some lauding the approach as necessary while others call it regressive. Legal analysts warn to potential constitutional challenges. Trump's announcement underscores his focus on public safety as a cornerstone on his administration's agenda. Public opinion remains sharply polarized with debates intensifying on social media. The move is expected to face significant legislative hurdles. In local news, Biden declares bald eagle the national bird. President Joe Biden signed a bill officially designating the bald eagle as the United States national bird, cementing its symbolic significance. Conversation groups celebrated the move as a tribute to effort that saved the species from extinction. The bipartisan legislation reflects rare political unity and emphasizes the bird's role in American heritage. Lawmakers praised the initiative, calling it as a step towards inspiring national pride. Critics argue the focus on symbolism detracts from pressing environmental challenges. Biden underscored the eagle's resilience as an emblematic of the nation's enduring strength. The move comes amid heightened environmental advocacy in Congress. Supporters fund defense of suspected CEO killer. Luigi Minjon, accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, pleaded not guilty to murder and terrorism charges on Monday. Online defense funds, including one on the Give Send Go, have raised over $200,000, sparking concern among law enforcement about his growing support. The anonymous group, the December 4th Legal Committee, launched the campaign emphasizing Menjon's right to fair legal representation. Thousands of donors nationwide have contributed, with some praising Menjon for sparking awareness across the nation. Critics argue the campaign risks glorifying violence and undermining justice. Law enforcement fears the case could embolden others, highlighting challenges in managing public sentiments during high-profile trials. The incident has reignited debates over crowdfunding, ethics, and legal accountability. Menjon's next court date is eagerly anticipated as a public interest intensifies. Rejected green card sparks controversy. A Chinese national, Yu Chen-jin, has filed a lawsuit against US immigration authorities after his green card application was rejected. The rejection cited discrepancies in his employment history, including a claim that he held a senior position at Apple, a claim he denies. Jin alleges that the error was result of bureaucratic mishandling, not intentional fraud. Immigration advocates have raised concern about systematic issue in processing applications. The case has gained attention due to its implications for highly skilled immigrants navigating the US immigration system. Legal experts emphasize the potential consequences for the other applicants with disputed employment records. Critics argue that this reflects broader challenges in balancing national security and fairness in immigration policies. Jane is seeking damages and a re-evaluation of his application with hearings expected next month. Subway murder raises immigration concerns. Sebastian Zapata Khalil, an undocumented immigrant, has been charged in the murder of a woman on a New York subway. Zapata Khalil, who was previously deported in 2018, re entered the US unlawfully, raising questions about border enforcement measures. Advocacy groups criticize the focus on his immigration status, calling for improved support for undocumented individuals. The cases has reignited debates on immigration reform, with lawmakers urging strict border controls. Critics argue the incident reflects systemic failure in addressing migrant reintegration. The Biden administration faces increasing pressure to address the vulnerabilities in immigration policy. In Indian news, India faces diplomatic tensions with Bangladesh. India faces a diplomatic challenge as Bangladesh calls for the extradition of former Prime Minister Hasina Sheikh, accused of corruption charges. The request has placed in India in delicate position, balancing bilateral relations and legal obligations. Analysts warn that granting the request could strain ties with political allies in Bangladesh. Human rights groups have raised concerns over the fairness of trial in Bangladesh. Indian officials have emphasized adherence to legal protocols in addressing the issue. This development adds complexity to India's regional diplomacy strategy. Critics argue that such cases risk overshadowing broader collaborative efforts between the nations. Talks between the Indian and Bangladeshi diplomats are expected in the coming week to address this sensitive matter. BJP may nominate Verma as Delhi CM candidate. Reports suggest the BJP may choose former MP Parvesh Verma as its chief ministerial candidate to challenge Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi. Verma's selection would mark a strategic shift as the BJP aims to strengthen its urban voter base. Political analysts view this as an attempt to counter Kejriwal's stronghold on the capital. BJP leaders have highlighted Verma's experience and public appeal as assets. Critics argue that internal party division could impact campaign effectiveness. The AAP has dismissed the move as an act of desperation. Election strategies are expected to intensify as both parties prepare for upcoming polls. Displaced people in Manipur await return amid unrest. A high court in Manipur has reassured displaced residents that they can return home when conditions stabilize. The assurance follows months of ethnic unrest that forced thousands to flee their homes. Advocacy groups have called for enhanced security measures to ensure a safe return. Critics argue that the government's response to the crisis has been inadequate. The court emphasized the need for reconciliation efforts to restore trust among communities. Local leaders have urged the government to accelerate rehabilitation programs. This development highlights ongoing challenge in addressing displacement caused by regional conflicts. Allu Arjun provides aids to stampede aftermath. Actor Allu Arjun has offered financial compensation to victims of the stampede at the premieres of his movie Pushpa 2. The incident, which claimed a life and left several injured, has drawn widespread criticism over crowd management. The actor announced supports for the deceased woman family. Medical aid for her injured son. Advocacy group have urged strict regulation for public events to prevent such tragedies. Local authorities are investigating lapses in security measures at the event. Arjun expressed condolences and pledged to collaborate with authorities to improve event safety standards. In international news, Kazakhstan plane crashes claims lives. A tragic crash at Akat airport in Kazakhstan has claimed multiple lives, including passengers and crew members. The Azerbaijan airline flight en route to Baku crashed during the takeoff amid adverse weather conditions. Authorities are investigating possible mechanical failure and human error. The incident has raised questions about aviation safety protocol and victims in the region. International experts have been invited to assist in the investigation. Families of the victims are being offered support by airline officials. This marks one of the most significant aviation tragedies in Kazakhstan's recent history. Critics have called for stricter enforcement of maintenance and safety regulation. That concludes today's news on Bharat TV. For more updates, these stories and others, visit our website or follow us on social media. I'm Nutan Vyas and we'll see you next time.